Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you. My name is Hiba Mohsen, and I'm an assistant professor at BAU, the Faculty of Architecture. This research work is a collaboration between my colleagues Muhammad Tami and Rawan Nashi, a fourth-year architecture student at the faculty, and myself. It is entitled From Passive to Immersive Metaverse as a Pedagogical Approach in History Class, presenting a constant reminder of historical remnants and a customable reality for future preferences. Beirut as a case study. So the main focus of this work is to examine how to rebuild Beirut in history classes, not as a series of facts, dates, and information, but as an immersive environment as well. And for that, the result of a recent project implemented by BAU Urban Lab, together with 3 UN agencies, is analyzed, and then, moreover, a pilot study is conducted on Martyr Square to assess how virtual tools can enhance the sensory experience and perception of the built space, inevitably making the youth active learners than passive. And now I will let Rawan continue presenting this research. Rawan?
Thank you, Dr. Hiba. Just a quick reminder for all our participants, national and international. This is Lebanon. We are here. Lebanon is just a dot on the map. And yet this dot has succeeded in creating quite a rumble in the past years. Lebanon has such a profound historical background, from the Canaanites to the Romans, all the way to the Mamluks, the Ottomans, and the French Mandate. It is very important, it is crucial that this historical background is passed on from one generation to another, so that students are capable of understanding their heritage, assessing their present, and creating the future that we all dream of. But why history classes exactly? The benefits of historical teachings lie in 3 categories. First, at the level of self and others. Teaching history allows students to, because Lebanon is such a divided country, if teaching history is going to allow people to better understand themselves and thus and have a certain level of acceptance and tolerance towards the different other by understanding where everything started from. At the second level, which is the level of the nation, understanding that we have a shared history of treacheries and successes, of wars and prosperities, allows people to share a common ground, which is the identity or the historical identity with which they identify with. And the third level is the level of heritage. We will only be able to, or we will only understand the importance of preserving our historical buildings if we understand or if we acknowledge the stories the walls of these buildings hold. So the main goal here is to help students drift away from present-day conceptions so that they can think and assess critically the reality we live in. But how can we do that? How can we evolve past, beyond our present day, if our history classes still look like this, and if our history textbooks have not evolved since the late 1990s? Imagine this. The typical classroom setting consists of a teacher reading from a textbook and delivering the information in a factual, organized manner. Tell them and they will forget. Everything, the main goal of the students in this case is to retain the information long enough so that they can get good grades. But right after the exam, all that information is discarded. So children here turn into passive memorizers rather than active learners. Show them, however, and they may remember. Some private schools in Lebanon have taken individual efforts to supply their classes with LCD projectors. So students, along with the teacher, can watch a YouTube video and then discuss and assess critically what's going on. But the pandemic, however, has taken the 2D online learning to another level of immersion. In this case, all the information that is discarded, although some of the information is retained, but the discarded information is still developed in the form of analytical or critical skills. moving from physical to virtual worlds have taken another level because of online learning. The metaverse or virtual realities have provided a more immersive, interactive, virtual connected worlds where students can interact with real-time figure avatars from different periods from our history. Involve them and they will learn. This means that the multisensory experience that virtual realities, or generally speaking, metaverse, can provide the student will help retain the information that is lost from a typical classroom setting. In other words, metaverse is supposed to be a supplement to the historical class or to the teaching a typical teacher gives in class. In order to prove the benefits of moving into more immersive environments, there was a workshop carried by the staff of Beirut Arab University and its students in collaboration with UNODC, UNFPA, and UNESCO. The results of this project were analyzed. This project took place after the Beirut explosion, and it aimed to help children revive the image or the state of Beirut before the explosion by offering an alternative for a reality by using 3D physical models. Now, three main props, the BAU team, the BAU students, along with the staff, have come together to design three main props. The first one was a game board, which you can see to the left. You can see that the game board consists of different parts, and students would assemble these parts together in order to create the city of their preference, how they envision the future city they dream of should be, what it should contain. The second prop is a large-scale physical model of the region affected by the blast. And on this large-scale physical model, there were small tags on the buildings, on landmark buildings. And these buildings were then recrafted at a larger scale. So students passing by would be able to identify landmarks in an urban context. They better understand their city and how it's constituted. Now, the project generally helped students to recollect their thoughts on the city, on how it currently is, how it was, and what they would like it to be in the future. The project, in this case, was a success. It also introduced teachers to the importance of using physical models or architecture in educating history at an early age. Now, in order to move into more immersive methods of teaching, a more theoretical approach was taken. Martyr Square was chosen as a setting. The aim of this approach was to see how this public area was developed across time and engage students in a virtual world of this area from different periods of history. Why Martyr Square exactly? Well, because this public area has witnessed significant events, and students have and it became the heart, or it became considered the heart of the city of Beirut. Three main settings were chosen, three main periods of time. First setting was before 1950, before the destruction of Little Sarai. And you can see this building depicted using modeling softwares and placed back in its position using VR, using virtual reality. Students moving or navigating through this world will be able to understand what it means to walk in processions during those days or in fight for independence, what it means to celebrate their independence after getting it. The second time zone chosen was the period after 1950, which is after the destruction of this building, Little Sarai, and building a new cinema. They named it Cinema Rivoli. During this period, Martyr Square was considered a transportation and cultural hub. The city became vibrant. There were multiple social activities going on. So students engaging in this time zone specifically will be able to relive this experience, relive what it means to be in a vibrant city, in a peaceful and tranquil time zone, which is something that we lack currently. The third time period is pretty recent, which is the revolutions which started on 17th October 2019. This period hits different because students engaging here can just move through will be able to move or navigate through and see the sculptures and the art pieces many prominent artists left behind, how people got together and just how different they are, and how they just got together and unified in order to fight against the unjust. This period is supposed to, theoretically speaking, will allow students make them understand how even a diverse nation can still come together. Although moving into more immersive environments still remain theoretical, the workshop carried out by the BEU does prove that moving into more engaging environments, at least using 3D physical models, can cause great differences and can leave quite an impact on children. In conclusion, involve the children and they will learn. And hope that the next rumble you do hear from this small dot on the map comes from a wave or generation of educated students advocating for peace, change, and development. Thank you very much.